Toxic waste across borders, protecting the earth from dangerous, long-lasting chemicals, and restricting the international trade in mercury. Most recently, in 2021, UNEP finished a 2-decade-long campaign to rid the world of highly toxic leaded petrol, saving an estimated 1 million lives each year. As the world grappled with pollution and waste, another crisis was brewing.
I have dreamt of seeing great herds of wild animals, jungles, and rainforests, full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see.
Poaching and habitat loss were pushing some of the world's most iconic animals to the brink of extinction. Driven by science, UNEP supported a series of international treaties limiting and in some cases banning the trade of endangered species, safeguarding migratory animals, expanding protected areas, and increasing financing for biodiversity protection. The seminal Earth Summit in Brazil introduced the idea of sustainable development.
This is an historical moment for the mobilization of all peoples of the world.
Over the last 5 decades, UNEP has helped more than 100 countries ensuring the right to a healthy environment in their constitutions and produced scientific studies to guide member states in their decision-making. In 2012, a new international body was established to provide scientific data on biodiversity in a joint effort from UNEP and other UN organizations. In 2019, it found that 1 million species face the threat of extinction, underscoring the urgency to act.
Every action we take alters the earth that future generations will inherit.
The world is starting to recognize the effects of planetary warming, but UNEP began sounding the alarm 3 decades ago, as early as 1988. For over 30 years, IPCC science has helped member states counter climate change, earning the body a Nobel Prize for its work. UNEP-backed studies have informed some of the planet's most crucial climate accords. These include a 1992 agreement that set a template for curbing greenhouse gas emissions, followed by the Kyoto Protocol and the landmark 2015 Paris Agreement.
I'm proud to announce that 175 parties have signed the Paris Agreement.
UNEP to help create a more sustainable world.
We don't want fossil fuels anymore.
A lot has happened in the last 50 years, but it's the next 10 that will be pivotal for life on this planet.
But in fact, what you and I and other ordinary people around the world can do will not by itself save us. The great decisions, the great disasters that face us can only be dealt with by governments. And that's why this organization is so important.
Over the past 15 years, we've seen
Hello, everyone. Okay, today I want to try different language to say welcome, and I want to start from my own native language, which is okay, English, welcome, Yoruba, ẹ káàbọ̀. And okay, in Swahili, they will say kabiro. And yes, Hausa will say barika de zua.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
let me try Zulu, which is Yakua Kelela. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, in Zosa, you say Wam Keledi. A lot of language. Okay, I'm just trying to adapt some language. Okay, I'm just trying to tell you all that welcome, welcome, and welcome. Yes, this is ECO30, and yes, it's me, Yetunde Junai, the Program Associate for Aid for Africa, and it's really nice to be here this evening, whatever time you are over there. Yes, so it's nice to have you all. And yes, I'm glad to be here once again to have an interactive section with us. Yeah, when we are having the opening ceremony, I think I told us about us having a weekly engagement where we discuss more about sustainability activities to help us do more and participate more in the Equity campaign challenges that we've been doing for the past week. I want to say welcome once again. And okay, just to say, just to see people that are here from different countries, I want you to say welcome in your language, just as I have tried mine. Let's put that on the chat box. Yes, let's see that. Just tell everybody welcome. Yeah, I want to see that popping up. Okay. All right, all right. Yes, yes. Let's keep it coming. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Welcome once again. And just as I've introduced before now, I am Yetunde United Program Associate for EDF Africa. Yes, I would like to tell you that we have a very fantastic person with us today, who's our guest speaker. And yeah, you hear from us soon and you know how fantastic she is. I have actually read through her profile on LinkedIn and I can see that she's doing more when it comes to sustainability and yes, SDG generally. Of course, you're welcome, Karen. Yes, it's nice to have you here.
Hi, nice to be here.
Okay.
This evening.
Yes, thank you. And I would love you to say welcome in your language, if you have a language, a special language from your side there.
It's merhaba.
Oh, that's awesome. Merhaba. Yes, you can see I'm learning new language. All right, thank you so much. Thank you for that. That was very educative. Thank you so much. Okay, right now we'll be taking feedback and testimonials from our participants to see how the program has been, what has been your testimony. Yes, we have done week one. How challenging has it been? What are your feedback from those things that you've been doing for the past week? How has it been? How interesting has it been for us? So if you would like to speak, you can just raise your hand or put your messages on the chat box so that we can read it out. This is because we want to know how awesome the program has been because yes, personally it has been something that some of us don't do it every day, but yes, this is a challenge for us to keep on doing this every day. Okay, before I go there, I can see a lot of welcome in different languages here, and I'm so happy to see that. Okay, I can see Ekomdo. Wow. Okay, somebody is saying Karibuni Sunny. I don't understand that language. It says Kiswali. Oh, wow. Language is just beautiful, it's just dynamic and unique according to where you're from. Okay, Kabir from Kenya. Oh, awesome. Okay, Akuaba, that is from Ghana. Fantastic. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. So I'll be taking your country, your feedback and your testimonial right now. I want to know how the experience has been. Yes, personally, there are a lot of things that yes, maybe because of the society or me personally or trying to form busy, I might feel, oh, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to do that today. But yeah, this is a program that is telling you, yes, this is what you have to do today. Yes, you have to break 100 of plastic today. Yes, you have to do this. You have to do that. Just for us to make sure we keep our environment healthy and sustainable for our living and for our own health. This is about our environment, our community, our own self. So this is just helping us to cultivate that habit of doing this well. And I want to hear from our experiences, please. Okay, I've not seen any hands up yet. Is it that we have not had a lot of experiences in the past week? Because I saw a lot of people sharing their experiences on LinkedIn and other social media, telling us what they have done daily. And yes, it was really inspiring, and even for others to do more and actually participate effectively in the program. So I'm looking up to seeing testimony here from us and people giving feedback. Okay, I can see your hand up. Cornell, yes, you can have the mic right now. Cornell, you can actually unmute your mic and speak. Okay, while we wait for that, I can see a chat already. For me, it's been fantastic because it is more of helping align with change that help. Yes, thank you so much, Anaka Azibe. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, that is very, very, very insightful. It's been fantastic. Like seriously, it's been fantastic when you are seeing a lot of people committing to doing things better, things well, how it should be. Yes, that's awesome. Okay, Cornell, do you want to speak with us right now?
Hello, good evening.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
you're fine. So let's have your testimony or your feedback from the program.
Yeah, my name is Nuruddin Basambo from Nigeria. Yes, my testimony about this ECO Sustainable Living Life is a very good program, and it has educated us, it has enlightened us, and it has taken us to a very good position that we can use our resources, minimize it, and economically. Because these are some things that we have to do, even though it is day-to-day activities, but people doesn't use to consider them as something that they can just use to adjust, or they can just have some things that can be usable. Like the topic that has been discussed yesterday, issue of reuse bags and so on. These are some things that have been disturbing us. They are even causing pollution everywhere. Everything you buy, they will put it in a polythene bag for you. But in such a way that you can use these reuse bags or sacks, they can reduce all this pollution as well. Right away here, I'm seeing it as a great program that can just enlighten us very, very well. Thank you for the program.
All right, thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, that has been an awesome one, and you can hear from him that yes, things that we don't do before, we try as much as possible to create the habit of doing that. Yes, that is what we want to actually promote with this program. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Okay, yes, we'll be taking our opening remarks right now, and I'll be giving the mic to my boss, Mr. Luafemi. Yes, you can have the opening remarks, sir.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone, depending on your time zone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
All right. Thank you for the confirmation. And to our guest speaker this evening, good evening to you, Karen. Trust you're fine.
Yes, good evening to you all. Happy to be here.
Uh, Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. So, to every participant on the call, thank you for making yourself available this evening. It's been a wonderful time. We have spent 5 days already on this challenge with interesting topics. And one way or the other, I believe we are already being transformed, and we are already gaining one or two information, knowledge, insights on how we can live in a more sustainable manner. So these practices are not just what we should learn for 30 days and just drop off, but they are what we should incorporate in our daily lifestyle, that what we should keep doing so as to reduce our carbon footprints on our planet and to also restore our ecosystem, to take us back to the green nature we once have and the enjoyment we have back then. The cool weather, the awesome winter, the awesome snows and all that. And to reduce this serious heat. You see, rain has been falling, but it's as if rain is not falling. The heat is so much. So I welcome everybody once again, and I believe through today's information section and the lecture, we are going to be refreshed again and will be adequately equipped. So thank you so much for joining this course. I'll be handing over the mic back to Yetunde as we go on to the lecture immediately without wasting any time. Thank you so much. Yetunde, you can bring our speaker to speed.
All right, thank you so much. Sir, I just beeped you on your chat, please. All right, thank you so much, Sarah. That was very, very a good opening remarks for us to begin with today. Thank you, sir. Sir, please help me with my video, please. Okay, yes, let's move on. The next thing now is that we are bringing in our experts. Yes, and this aspect, we call it the expert corner because, yes, we are bringing on experts, and yes, you are Meta, and yes, I want to officially introduce her to everyone on this call this moment. And yes, she is Karen Formosa. I hope I'm able to pronounce that name very well so that you won't sue me.
Nope, you're fine. You did it well.
All right. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you. All right. I would like to read her profile so that we can know how resourceful she is. And yes, we have Karen Formosa, and she's a sustainable and circularity advocate for practical sustainability. Yes, which is based in the UK. She works with small to medium enterprise to help them on sustainability journey. Yeah, she started focusing on sustainability in the last 3 years after she spent most of her career in the financial world. Wow. Awesome. Okay, she said after having earned a degree back in 2025, I mean in 2005, that is 2005, in business management. She worked in various financial services company for her career. And yes, 3 years ago, she made a shift from being in the financial world to the sustainability and circularity world. Yes, which is more rewarding. Awesome. Yeah. So of course. So yes, it is really, really rewarding because our role meeting businesses and sustainability leaders are truly help our passion towards the society and environment. And yes, as a company, she works with small and medium enterprise where resources are usually scarce. And it is incredibly fulfilling to be able to help these businesses to use their resources effectively. Yes, this is Karen, and I believe that she's here to tell us more about sustainability. So it will just be more of a discussion. I'll be asking her some questions, which she'll be giving us some answers to, as we all know that she's an expert in what she does. So I want it to be more like a discussion so that it won't be like,
Sure.
yes, Karen is just bringing all this sophisticated word in sustainability. Yes, it's going to be like that, but yes, it's going to be more of a discussion. Hi, Karen.
Hi. Hi, and hi everybody. It's great to be here this evening, and I would like to thank everybody and for granting me the honor of being a guest speaker for the event. So as you said, I'm Karen, and I am a sustainability and circularity advocate for practical sustainability. I made the shift because I thought that sustainability is such an important aspect, and caring for our planet and caring for our world is vital if we want our future to be better than it is. So basically, this shift helped me deal with businesses and sustainability leaders who are passionate about what they do, and what they do is doing it right for society and for the environment. So yeah, that's me.
All right, thank you. It's nice to have you here, Karen. Okay, let's dive into the topic of today. So, yes, the first question I want to ask is that okay? Yes, as I've actually and rightly said that you are an expert in sustainability. Okay, how would you define sustainable living in simple terms? And why is it
So
important for the average person today? Yeah,
yeah,
you can
so
go.
can you hear me? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
So at the moment, there's this concept that is gaining a lot of momentum, and that concept is sufficiency. So basically, what sufficiency is it's about the way of life that centers around reducing our footprint by moderating our need for energy and products and services. So basically, it is about using less, wasting less, and caring more for the world that we live in. It is incredibly important, as you probably hear everywhere, well, it is known everywhere, that the world is facing challenges like of climate change, pollution, and resource depletion, which are having detrimental effects to our planet. We, as consumers, as people, place a lot of weight on brand efforts to become more sustainable themselves. But ultimately, it is the average person today that drives the need for products, services, and the energy. So, in actual fact, all of us play an important role in shaping what companies and brands of the future do.
Right, thank you so much. So sorry for that.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you so much for okay. So I would say that in your experience now that you have explained to us what sustainability living is in a simple term, in your experience, what are some little practical effort individual can make that have great impact on our planet?
So there's obviously a lot of examples that one could think of, but it ultimately is the choices that we as individuals make every day that can have the greatest impact on the planet. So to answer your question, it could be being mindful about our waste. So as simple as opting for reusable items like water bottles, coffee cups, or grocery bags, and recycling them diligently. So I know some countries in Africa already have bans on single-use plastic, but this practice needs to be more widespread as the pollution in rivers and in oceans and in urban areas is considerable. And to address this issue, I can say that maybe there could be promotion on biodegradable alternatives, or an improvement in the recycling infrastructure, or raising more public awareness about the environmental impact of plastics. Another example could be eating sustainably. So by incorporating plant-based meals into our diets and supporting local and organic or sustainably farmed foods, it is not only beneficial to us, but it is also beneficial for the country's economic growth. So you're not doing, you could be eating sustainably, which is beneficial to yourself, but it
Yes.
also helps the country in its economic growth. because you're keeping the loop inside the country. Another way that I've been thinking of that you could make an impact is when you go into a supermarket or a shop, you are met with a lot of products. You see a lot of products. You can choose to support the eco-friendlier products, sort of those with minimal packaging or those that are made with recycled materials. In all of this, it all boils down to the choices we make. Example, how to be more energy efficient, switching to energy efficient bulbs or appliances, or unplugging electronics if we're not using them. So yeah, or the one thing that I really like about it is plant something. You plant something. So you plant a tree or grow a garden or even nurture some indoor plants. It helps absorb the CO2 and it adds a bit of greenery to your life, doesn't it? That's what I think.
Yes. Okay.
So
I used to speaking. Okay.
Okay. So and apart from these, and I think this tops them all, is you spreading the awareness. So I believe that education and awareness is probably one of the most practical things we can all do that has the greatest impact. We can share the information that we know or volunteer in groups or even join environmental groups. And in that way, it amplifies our impacts towards a more sustainable future.
All right, that was awesome. Yes, and the last part was a very more larger part of it. Yes, because even if we are doing all this, if we don't create the awareness, people want to know that they are supposed to do this or how they can manage this or that. Thank you so much, Karen, for that. Okay,
So,
my next
Yetunde,
question.
please, before you go
Okay,
to the
sir.
next question, so
Okay, sir.
I just want to say one or two things to contribute to what Karen has just said.
All right.
The points she mentioned are so solid, are so wonderful, such that even the challenge we have today, I mean, the challenge for today's program is green your home. That is, try to plant something, trying to have a garden at the back of your house, try to practice a little agriculture back there. So by that, yeah, also living sustainably, just as what Karen has said. Interestingly, so I want to tell the participant that you can see that you are rightly on course in this program. You are doing the right thing. You are contributing your quota in ensuring that we have a better environment, we have a better ecosystem. So the little effort you are contributing is going a long way. So I want to still encourage that we put more effort in this, and this program is also a way of creating awareness, just as what Karen has said. So I love those points. Well done, man. You can continue.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Femi, for making that contribution. Yes, those were fantastic ones. So I hope we are actually noting and paying attention to all what she's saying. And you can now confirm that she's an expert when it comes to sustainability. All right. Yes, let's dive into the next question so that I won't waste much of your time today. Okay. So the next question is, please, as you have said before now, the practical things. What is the example? Just share more of example. Like, yes, you've told us that yes, there are some things that we do to help our life, to help our community, and also create awareness. But we still need to know some little examples, some example of the lifestyle habits of that we can do every day, like an everyday choice that people often overlook. Because most times we overlook all these things. It's not that we don't know that we should do that, but we overlook them. But that makes a significant difference when it comes to sustainability. Thank you.
So for that question and for me, it is about learning to love and appreciate the products that we buy and own. So basically, if we take care of our products, they last longer, which means we have slowed down the material resource loops. Also, when we know what impact that product has on our planet, we can make better and informed decisions on what to buy. For example, did you know that 4 tons of water is required to produce 1 pair of jeans? Just think about that for a second, 4 tons. hopefully this might make you think twice about throwing that jeans away. So as an example, the significant change could be to slow down the material resource loops, could be to repair the item or mend the item rather than throwing it away or replacing it. You could, instead of throwing away clothing with minor tears or worn out shoes, these could be patched up, sewn, or have them resold. This activity or this practice not only reduces waste, but it also cuts down on the environmental impact of producing new items. And if you really think about it, this habit could extend beyond fashion. You could think of using it with furniture, appliances, or even electronics. So it is a cycle that we need to get into of not throwing away our things. We need to relook at them and say, can I reuse it? Can I rebuild it? Can I do this with it? Instead of just throwing it away and filling our landfill with more waste we do not need.
Yes, thank you so much. And yes, I want to just add a little to what you're saying. Like I recently I saw some people actually collecting people's gene. They're not using your gene, they're asking you to donate your gene. And this gene is being used to make school bags for the less privileged. So it's more like you don't need the gene, you just throw it out. And but now you have something else you can do it where you can do with that gene. So you don't have to waste those things. It's part of sustainability, making use of those things, recycling them and making good use of them. Thank you so much, Karen, for that. Just wanted to add that. Thank you. All right, the next question now is okay. What are some of the most uncommon challenges people face when trying to live sustainably, and how can they realistically overcome them?
Right, so everybody knows that living sustainably can present various challenges, but with realistic strategies, they can be addressed effectively. So if we look at the cost of sustainable products, usually we all know that the eco-friendly items often come with a higher upfront cost. They usually cost more than other items, and so it can deter people from making that investment into these sustainable products. But if you really think about it, and if you take it as a solution, we should always focus on the long-term savings. So, for example, if you're investing in an energy efficient appliance, it might cost initially it might cost more, but in the long run, you would save money on bills over time. So it depends how you look at it. Another challenge is the lack of convenience. So sustainable options could be not using your car and using public transport. Now, this we all know that it is less convenient because you have to wait for the bus, you have to, see when the bus is arriving, if it doesn't arrive. But although it seems less convenient, if you start small and integrate the habits gradually until it becomes part of your routine, then it won't be as much of a problem as it was in the beginning. So, and even you could join community programs or even shared resources like carpooling, and which can make sustainable living easier and less disruptive to daily lives. And another thing that comes to mind is access to resources. So obviously, one of the biggest challenge is access to resources. Not everybody has access to all the resources or access to sustainable products or facilities like recycling centers. So thinking about this, it should drive people to be more resourceful and more creative. We should reuse the items and, as I said, rebuild them to be used for longer. And one can even start an initiative, like small initiatives, like a neighborhood program, even a neighborhood compost program, in which the whole community will benefit from. So those are some of the challenges and some of the solutions. But having said this, and above all, access to information which is accurate is sometimes one of the most challenging thing experienced by all. So what do I mean? So as consumers, we are always bombarded with conflicting information about how sustainable products or services are. Sometimes even the experts between themselves disagree. And this is a symptom of the fact that measuring sustainability is not easy. And there's a lot of things to consider. So apart from the simple solutions that I mentioned above, what people can do in their day-to-day lives, there are other ways to overcome these challenges. And firstly, I see it through legislation. So legislation is very important to ensure that the information exists and that it is accurate and complete and comparable. It is only then that people can see and individuals can decide what to choose and what to do. And the second thing is we as consumers need to learn more about sustainability. Therefore, as I said before, education is probably the key. The key. Many people aren't fully informed about sustainable practices or even their impacts. And so a possible solution is to commit through learning. If it's whether through books or online resources or joining local environmental groups, just get learning and share your knowledge on sustainability with your family, your friends, because it's a ripple effect. I learn, I teach. I learn, I teach. You do that, and hopefully we will get there.
All right. Thank you so much, Karen. That was really, really insightful because, yes, there's a lot of challenges and people are just finding it hard to navigate around. And one of the things that you've said is that we need to have information literacy where we know the kind of information we digest and we make use of, because there's a lot of information when it comes to sustainability. Some people are talking about this, some other people are talking about that. How do you know the right one and what to follow and how to do that correctly is where the information has to be right. And yes, that was factual. Thank you for that. For that information. Yes, it's really, really, really important for us to know the kind of information because, yes, as you said, a lot. All right, thank you, Karen. Yeah. So just second to the last question so that we can quickly round up on this section for today. Okay, I'm asking if our entire community begin to prioritize intentional sustainability practices, what kind of positive shift would we likely see in the next few years?
So that is a great question. I like that one. So we know that in today's world, everything is so globalized and communities tend to feel like they are a bit disconnected from it all. And we seem to forget our recent past. So I am talking about circularity. So basically, the concept of circularity has been around in communities for ages. For example, the handing down of clothes between families and communities. I still do it today for both my children and I am sure my parents and their parents did it before me. But for some time, it seemed it got lost along the way. So today, we are seeing some very positive shifts towards circularity again. And one example is the rise of resale platforms, which enable this exchange of products between communities possible. These business models are great for communities because they generate new jobs, such as local repair shops. And overall, they reduce the speed of the resource cycles, which means less waste in our landfills. If whole communities prioritize sustainable practices, the ripple effect could be extraordinary. We might see healthier ecosystems, that's for sure, because if you have reduced pollution, reforested areas, cleaner water, cleaner air, then it would allow ecosystems to thrive, and it would benefit both the wildlife and humans alike. certainly carbon emissions would be lower because of the increased adoption of renewable energy or energy efficient practices or sustainable transportation. It could significantly cut greenhouse gases, slowing down climate change that we desperately need. And another thing that comes to mind is stronger communities. So a community that strives with shared initiatives such as urban gardening or recycling programs or car sharing, I think it brings them together more. And the more they do it, the community grows and you get more people doing more of the same. And that's what we need. We need that to happen, to have these sustainable practices give out a ripple effect and to have this extraordinary change in our planet, basically. I could think of more, but I always return to the same thing, the education and the mindset shift. A cultural emphasis that sustainability could inspire future generations to make conscious choices and embedding sustainability deeply into their societal values. I always end up with the education because that is the topmost.
Yes.
Always.
Definitely, yes. Thank you so much, Karen. And yes, talking about education, you just have to be open to learning, change your mindset of learning more about the sustainability. You need to learn. You need to get that information, the right information. Like before now, I don't know about going digital. I learned about it. I got to know that okay, it's better for me to send a link than send a picture. So that's a real picture than that would take a lot of grams on my phone or people's phone. So I just got to know that is also like adding to carbon emission and all that. I was like, wow, I didn't even realize that until I learned about it. When you learn about something, it becomes adaptable to you. So even right now, if somebody is sending me a picture, I tell them, please, I prefer you to put all your pictures in the link and send it to me. Please reduce the carbon emission in the environment. You understand? Because I've learned about it, I'm able to talk about it and also encourage other people to do that. And I think that is why Karen is emphasizing more on education. Yes, education. You need to educate yourself. And that is why we are here, to learn more about sustainability, hear new things about sustainability, learn from one another, and know the right thing to do. Thank you so much, Karen. And the last but not the least question. The last but not the least question. Yes, as you can see and you can confirm that some people are struggle with the feeling that, yes, their little efforts like recycling or using less plastic don't really make any differences. How would you encourage someone who feels like that to make their action, that little action, matter in the community?
So there's no easy answer to this. And I understand those feelings because you do see bad behaviors and bad policies that they not only drive no change, but that sometimes are even more harmful. So when I read this question, it reminded me of a quote that Edmund Burke said. He was a philosopher who believed that society should protect resources for future generations, which is essentially the fundamentals of sustainability. And this quote says, "Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could do only a little." So in answering your question, to encourage someone, I would remind them that even the smallest actions can lead to meaningful change, especially when that combined action is added on to the efforts of other people. So every person has a unique contribution in their small habits, example, recycling or using less water. They should take pride in their efforts as they are part of a bigger thing, of a bigger movement. they should focus on the ripple effect. So many small, unique actions inspire others, which could lead to a culture of sustainability. As a simple example, if I'm composting in my house and I'm using it to grow a garden, I could encourage you. You could see me doing it and say, "Oh, right, I can do that." And another thing that comes to mind is you share stories and the knowledge you know of impacts that have happened in the past. So one example that comes to mind is in Rwanda, a remarkable movement began when a single community decided to ban plastic bags. That went on to be a ripple effect, which over time initiated spread. And what started as individuals making seemingly insignificant choices to switch to reusable alternatives, it built momentum that transformed the entire country's environmental policies. So these are some of the examples, or some of the, how do you call them? Some of the encouragement I would give to somebody who's thinking that my actions are not good enough, but they are. And
Yes.
and another thing is leading by example. So if you involve other members in the choices that you make, then you will influence their behavior and with your actions, this thing grows and it becomes, like I said, hopefully it will affect our future and our planet. And because we are now reaching a point where living sustainably is not a choice anymore, if we truly care about us, our children, and our grandchildren, then living sustainably is about giving them a better future. So, yeah.
Right, thank you so much. And you can hear that, yes, there's nothing like little. Everything that you do makes meaning, make an impact on the community. So don't see it as a small thing. That is what we're trying to tell you. The little you do every day makes up a huge impact. Makes up a huge impact. And just as she has said, document what you're doing, put it out to people, let people see what you're doing. Yes, this is what I do today. I'm able to pick 100 nylon bag into a trash bin. Let people know it, let them encourage you more. What you're doing would also encourage other people to do more. Yeah, so don't see it as, yes, I'm just doing this. What is my impact? No, your impact is being felt. Little impact that is gathered together is going to make a huge one. So I don't think there's not anything that is little, because every little had to make a huge impact. I hope, yes, thank you so much, Karen, for that.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
it's good for us to document, and that is why for this program, we do encourage you to post your activity, your daily activity on the social media to show people that, yes, this is your own culture, this is your impact you're making in the society. Even if others are not doing it now, your actions might encourage them to do more and make them change their mindset. Oh, if she can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. Then they do it better. Thank you so much,
Exactly.
Karen, and thank you, everyone. Okay,
You're
I
welcome.
want to ask if you have any question, any contribution from anyone. I would like to have that on the chat box, or if you want to ask the question, you can raise your hands while I actually recognize you to ask the question. I'm also on the YouTube right now to pick if anybody's asking us a question at this moment. Okay, still waiting. While I wait, I want to read out some contribution on the chat box. Okay. Tatenda said, I'm finding it incredible exciting to learn about implement sustainable practices from waste sorting and reducing my carbon footprint to energy conservation and using reusable bags. I'm committed to going green and protecting the environment. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing that. That is awesome. Okay, someone is saying an insightful section. Thank you, Karen. Adopting a circular economy is pivotal to sustainable equation. Definitely. Yes. Okay, this is coming down to starting with individual and spreading to others to live sustainably. Yes, definitely. It starts with you. So whatever starts with you radiates over others because what you do encourage others to do more. Okay, I can see Mr. Okay. Let's just keep it coming. And if you have any question, we can raise our hand. Yes, this has been insightful. And I can say that Karen has actually done justice to every question that we have asked. And yes, I love that. I love
You're
that. That
welcome.
was really, really impressive. Thank you so much. Okay, I want to say on behalf of ADF Africa, from the team, from all the participants, we are really grateful to have you. And yes, it's a privilege to have you on this call right now. And it's also a great privilege for us to hear from you and share from your experiences to us. All these are insightful. I also jotted a lot of things. If I start to read now, it's a bit more like a book. But no, you yeah, so don't let us do that right now. So I want to say thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And yes, we hope we are when we call to you next time, you will be here to listen to us and be on the call with us. So please,
Sure.
guys, help me appreciate Karen with your emojis. Say thank you on the chat box. Let's appreciate yes, thank you. You can say thank you in your languages. Just as you know that we are learning new language, just as I want it. So say thank
So,
you. Okay, ẹ ṣeun. Say it in your language that you convenient. I want to see more of your class,
so
please.
thank you.
Oh yeah,
So
thank
thank
you.
you in my language is grazie.
Oh, grazie.
Grazie.
Grazie. Yeah, thank you. I'm learning new language now. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. At this moment now, I'll be handing over to Anita. Anita, you have the mic right now. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Can you confirm if you can hear me yesterday?
Good evening. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you so much. Once again, we want to appreciate each and every one of you for your participation, your engagement, and also your passion for sustainability. Although this is just the beginning, and we are excited to see the impact we can make together. Let's remember that every small step counts, and we are so proud of all of you. Once again, thank you for your participation. Stay sustainable and also stay inspired. And we will see you next week.
All right. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you. Okay, I want to use this opportunity to tell us that please don't forget to follow us on our social media handles at ADEF Africa. So we are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and also X. So kindly follow us on all our social media and we'll appreciate that so that you can get updated with all information that is required. And yes, stay sustainable. Yes, this is Yetunde again, Yetunde July, the Program Associate for ADF Africa. And yes, that will be all for today. Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful day, evening, or whatever time you are over there. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Karen. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.